and today I'm going to be doing a book review on Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This book takes place in a fantasy world, and I like fantasy, but it's just not my biggest hype. But after picking up this book, I was so entangled with it. I couldn't get enough of the characters, I couldn't get enough of the plot line, and I just really loved the storyline and everything about it. It was so good, and if you guys haven't read it, I really highly recommend you do, because if you guys are the ones that like the Hunger Games or fantasy and like a bit of Throne of Glass and J.K. Rowling, I highly recommend you guys pick up this book because it is so good, and I highly recommend it. It was a really good book to read at the beginning of the month. So if you guys are unfamiliar what Throne of Glass is about, Throne of Glass is about a girl named Selena Sardennium. That's how you say it. Selena is actually an assassin. She's been an assassin for a long time until she was caught. It was really unfortunate that she has been caught because she's like one of the best of her times, and so she goes to their jail and she's there for a year until she is summoned to the castle to participate in the competition against 27 other champions. Now they call them champions because they are all in a role to fight for their freedom, because there's other thieves, murderers, attackers, assassins. They're trying to fight for their freedom. If they win these games, they serve the king for the many years, and then they're set free. A lot of unexplained things happen. There is something very mysterious going on within this castle, and so Selena is going to try to unravel it, and all the while trying to figure out what's happening to the champions that are dying, because they're all dying in inhumane ways, and so it's just like a whole mystery, and it's so good. When I started reading this, I found myself unable to put it down. The characters were so good. They really developed throughout the whole book, because first you see them as like mean characters, like you don't get a lot of them, but then as the more you read, the more you get, the more background story you get, and you just really enjoy it, and it is so good. I couldn't get enough of it. And the fact that it had like this fantasy element to it, it added to the bonus track. It was just a really good book, and it was one of the best books I read so far. It was so amazing reading about this girl being an assassin and just how she became an assassin. We get her background story a bit. We get it in bits and pieces. We just don't get the full story at first, but then we get like some of the story. Even though we don't get the full story, we still get enough of the story that you're like, oh my god, that is just wow. Oh, that's kind of sad. One thing I like about Selena's character is that she was really sassy, snarky. She didn't give a damn about what other people thought, and she was always determined to fight for herself and her freedom, and she would do whatever it took to get to it. There were some things that she dwelled on about her past and stuff that made me really sad and sympathize her, but she was always determined to power through it and try to focus on the present and not dwell on the past. Overall, I gave Throne of Glass 5 out of 5 stars because it was such a great book, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. Like, after I was done, I'm like, I need it now! Give it to me now! Give it to me now! So that was like the non-spoilerly section. Okay! Now we're going to talk about Prince Dorian. Is that his name? Prince Dorian, at first he seems like your typical prince who, like, you know, I'm rich and famous, and ooh, you're below me. You better do what I say, and you filthy person. You're filthy. You're dirty. You're lower than me. But then when we get like a little bit of his background story, we really see that he's actually a really nice guy. He is really caring, and he has like this little soft spot that only a few people can see, and he's just a really great person. His father doesn't really trust him. Him and his father have like this really distant relationship. I can see why, because his father is a jerk. And I have read quite a few jerks. Of course, Dorian, he really believes in Selena, and Of course, there is Dorian's best friend. What is his name? Captain of the Guard. I knew it was Captain and Guard something. K.L. Westfall, which is the Captain of the Guard, and he has like this super soldier that tells the guards what to do. He's like the main boss. He is the big boss. And he just seems like this really hard person to understand. Once you break through that wall he has, you see his soft spots. He has like the soft spots. And one thing I really did like about this book is that the summary took different turns at different times, and it wasn't just like all overwhelming. It had its moments, and it was just a really great book. This whole fantasy world where magic is banned. You do magic, man, you're gonna die. You're going to be thrown into cells and you're going to be killed. We kind of get some of the backstory why, but we really don't, because the king is such a dictator that he took over most of Illyria very quickly, and it's just, wow, he is such a dictator. I can't believe how big of a dictator he is. I thought I read a lot of dictators this year, but once again, he has to be one of the biggest jerks I read about. Then when it came to the epic battle, I found it really weird how this was so similar to the Hunger Games. You know, when I expected the competition to be more like deathly, because in the center of the book, the guy's like,
some of you will leave and some of you will die here. These tests are going to determine what you have skilled for.
It was something about those lines. When the first competition came, it wasn't that tough. It was just, I felt like I could have done it. We have this guy, Sam. I really want to know more about this guy, Sam, because apparently they were together and he died and when she was captured or something. By what she says about him, he's like this really one strong character, always kept her up and always had a way to like help her survive more. And so I really want to know more about him. Do we learn more about him in the next book? I was really frustrated with K.L. It's just like, I stand below her balcony watching her as she slow dance without anyone, and he just keeps watching her, and I'm like, why don't you do something about what you feel about her? Hint, hint, I like you. Hint, wink, wink, I like you. You know, I'm a good guy, you're a bad guy. Wink, wink. We can make this work. Even though good guys and bad guys, we're not supposed to go together, but me and you be good. Good. Still see that little affection he has for her when he gives her the ring. That was so sweet. Even though she was like half asleep when he gave it to her. Selena, she is just very snarky. You say something to her, she'll say something very snarky back. She reminded me of Alison Mikimoto, even without the sword, but she was an awesome character, and I enjoyed it. And one character that bugged me more than the king is the guy, I can't remember his name, but he frustrated me. And his whole mystery, because he kept getting bigger muscles and all, I was very positive it was him doing like all these murders or something. I didn't want to be like, oh, he's doing it, because I have learned not to suspect just one person, but many people. When it came to him, I was just like, yep, my suspicions were true, but I didn't follow them. Damn it! When Selena breaks up with Dorian. You guys made such a wonderful couple, but I can see her situation why. She doesn't just do something like as an impulse. She thinks about it, and she's a reasonable character. Anyways, that was my book review and / discussion on Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. If you guys have read the next book, do not spoil me, because I will come after you.
I will come after you.
Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day, and bye!